It's time for a new 5 Things to Watch edition of Beyond the Arc here on High School Cube News. Brian Chimino back with Michael O'Brien of the Chicago Sun-Times. The number 1 thing to watch this Sunday, Public League quarterfinals. 4 big matchups taking place from Chicago State, and the biggest one that we're looking at is Bogan versus Kenwood.
Yeah, the quarterfinals are traditionally one of the more fun days of the year. You know, you got pretty much close to the 8 best teams in the CPS together. You know, usually we get a nice upset in this round. That I think could happen with some of the matchups, but the premier game is definitely Bogan-Kenwood. You know, Bogan, we all know about them. They've got the talent. Kenwood has had, you know, I think in a lot of ways, a better year than I expected. They have the talent, you know, with Nick Robinson and Zion Morgan and just a really solid team, but I wasn't sure they were going to stay, you know, in the top 12, 15 all season like they have. So you got to give them credit for that. What they don't have is the big signature win that proves that they are an elite program on the rise, and they've got a chance to get that on Sunday. It's going to be really interesting to see if they can pull it off.
The number 2 thing to watch, a big one in the Southwest Suburban Red. Number 13 Thornton on the road Friday at Lincoln Way West.
Heading into the season, a lot of us didn't really think that the Southwest Suburban Red conference title race is going to be horribly exciting, but it is. I mean, who knew? Thornwood, you know, knocked Thornton off last week. Thornton is still in first place, but this game against Lincoln Way West, you know, it's really key. Lincoln Way West needs this win to kind of stay in it, and I think it's possible they could get it at home. You know, it's going to be tough for Thornton to come in there. The last time I saw Lincoln Way West there, they shot great. You know, they're a really active team. I expect a big crowd to be there. So this game could really kind of determine which of these teams survives in this conference race.
The number 3 thing to watch, the Catholic League tournament will be tipping off on Friday. Pairings will be released on Wednesday, and they went to a different format going 1 through 16.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if this thing can be a success. Last year they had some trouble with crowds. You know, it was always matched up against the CPS playoffs. You know, not a lot of people talk about it yet, but I think it's a good idea, and I think it's exciting that they're trying to put this thing together. So this is going to be a key year. The first round is Friday. The higher seeds will host, and then we're going to have games at St. Ignatius, and the final's going to be at DePaul. So it should be a fun tournament. Hopefully we can maybe get a St. Rita Hales, you know, title game or something like that. But this is a new thing, and it's going to be interesting to see how it's received.
Number 4 thing to watch, 2 unranked teams with very good resumes. The Kalyan shootout on Saturday. It'll be St. Charles North versus Hillcrest.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams have been ranked. They both have really good players. They both have really good wins. You know, Hillcrest has Taylor Adway, who had a big week last week with a, you know, a really nice double-double. I think this is going to be a key game because whichever one of these team wins is the one I'm really going to look at to make a run in the playoffs. This is, you know, out there in Caneland, which is really out there. I went to this last year. It's going to be tough, you know, to get the energy up. It's not a conference game, so I think it's going to be important. You got to love Jake Ludwig and Jack Callahan. They're great players. I got a feeling that they're going to be able to handle Hillcrest, but don't count the Hawks out. That defense can kind of cause some havoc to a lot of teams.
The number 5 thing to watch, a very odd game between 2 Public League teams still in the Public League tournament. It'll be number 23 Uplift at number 8 Kenwood.
One of the fun things about the Public League is that, schedules. We don't necessarily have that all wrapped up when the season starts. It's fluid. So it turns out that Kenwood and Uplift both needed a game. Things happened or didn't happen, so they're going to play on Wednesday. And I think it just might be a stroke of genius. All the other teams in the quarterfinals are going to have 7 days off, and at this stage in the season, teams do not like practicing. 7 days in a row, it gets boring. I think this game on Wednesday is really going to help keep both of them fresh. It's going to be a high-level game. Both teams are really good. You know, they're not going to be tired to play on Sunday, so I think it's kind of nice to shove this game in the middle. You know, that is unless one of them gets routed and things go bad. But I think it should be fun, and Uplift could really kind of get their name back out there, get their ranking up if they can pull this off at Kenwood. Jeremy Roscoe can play. He's been, you know, kind of on the down a little bit this year, but Spencer Foley is heating up. He's their 3-point shooter. He had a really great week last week, so you could see him maybe leading them to a victory in this one.
And that is your weekly 5 Things to Watch edition of Beyond the Arc here on High School Cube News. A reminder, check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to see all of our videos, including this week's new MVP segment with Beth Long, as she talks with Joe Mooney of the Notre Dame Dons. For Michael O'Brien, I'm Brian Chimino. We'll see you guys next week.